and welcome to Let's Get Retro. First of all, big shout out to anyone coming over from Gaming History Source. Thanks very much, Wingy, for the little kind of spotlight there. It's a great channel, well worth checking out. He does some similar stuff to me, but does it in a really cool way, so well worth having a look. So, we are looking at Blue Max, as you can see from that big screen in front of you. It says Blue Max. It's going to be on 3 platforms, the Commodore 64, the Atari 8-bit, which we're looking at here, and the Spectrum. So, as you can see, it's a shooter, a lovely shoot 'em up. Set in World War I, there's some blurb there, June 1915, the Western Front. So, it's going to remind you of a couple of things if you know your shooters. One of them is Zaxxon, to a certain extent, because you'll see at the angle it's got that isometric view and it has that kind of Zaxxon feel to it. The other thing reminds me a lot of is River Raid. You'll see now in a minute, probably because there's, as you can see from that lovely picture there, there's a bit of a river going on. But it's not a mindless shooter. There's a lot of strategy to it. So let's get cracking now. I'm going to load up for your delectation the Commodore 64 version first, and we'll have a quick look at that. Now, this is the intro screen. The Commodore gets a lovely intro screen. The other versions don't. The Wikipedia entry for this list of this music is Rule Britannia. I don't think it is. I mean, bear in mind I'm Irish, so you know we don't tend to hear that very often. But if you know what it is, answer in a postcard. So anyway, you've got a couple of different controls. Well, it's some pretty cool stuff. First of all, gravity on or off, and you'll see how that works in a second. Second option there is the controls, whether you have pilot controls, in other words, inverted. Like the old inverted mouse. And lastly, there was level of, difficulty. So, first thing is, let's kick my music in there, my tunes. Shout outs as always to Matt McFarland and his awesome music available on the site, which I include the link in my channel there. Anyway, so the gist of it is you do a recce along here. You're a little, very light plane. You can bomb, you can shoot. As indicators to tell you whether you're too low or too high, or whether you're... Can we get this? No. Just missed it there. Whether you're parallel to a plane, because obviously you can only shoot a plane if it's at the same level as you. Yeah, don't do that though. That's not going to work out too well for you. Let's give that a quick try again there. So, as I said, Commodore, thumbs up straight away for the intro. Again, if you mistime the speed, by the way, you have to be up to, you'll see it turn white, and that point you can lift off. If you lift off too soon, you'll die horribly. You've got 29 bombs there, 28, yeah, using them up straight away. Get your fuel. I think the arrow that appears is wind. Yeah, probably not a good idea to keep doing that. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, bugger! Someone literally appeared in front of me as I was taking off. Okay, let's get an airborne there and kick some World War I butt. So, you've got a mission where you have to hit a couple of different targets. They'll be, I think they'll have an X and then they'll be flashing like that guy there. And to drop bombs, you basically hold down the fire button and push down. I'll see if I can get this. Yes, that bomb's dropped. So, if you get all 3 of your targets and land successfully, then you can move on to the next level. There is, if I remember rightly, some other scenery a bit later on. So it's not just the same kind of thing over and over. I think the targets are chosen randomly at the start of the game. And... oh, can I get that now? It's again, you can do some really cool things, like you can strafe targets on the ground. You can strafe those tanks. You can also drop the bombs. And then I said, let's see if we can land here. The other thing is you take hits. You notice little things appear like F and B. Your fuel tank can get hit. Your bomb mechanism can get hit. You're allowed a couple of hits there before you die horribly. But if your bomb mechanism is destroyed, it's really hard to drop bombs. It's really frustrating. You get to a target, you can't drop the bombs. Anyway, that is the Commodore. Lovely, lovely. Let's go look at the Atari next. And there we go. Now, I think, and I could be wrong, but the Atari version was the original and the Commodore 64 was a port. The reason being is it calls it Bob Pollin's Blue Max and the Commodore 64, and then has by Peter Adams. And this just says Bob Pollin, so I think it's one of those ones that was Atari. Atari did it first. So there's the same kind of controls again. You're missing that lovely little intro screen, but I think the graphics in the Atari version are a little bit better myself. Now, I've tried to keep the proportions rather for each playthrough the same when I'm pulling them from the emulator, but I think it zoomed the screen slightly here. But even playing them when I was playing them there, I thought the Commodore had slightly less kind of screen real estate. So the Atari, it just feels a little bit better control-wise. Again, the Commodore's really, really good, but the Atari gives me, I feel like I got a tiny bit more control. Just do a bit of strafing. So it warns you if you're too low, if you're too high. Oh, I think I've taken my machine gun starting to hit there. The screen turns blue, that little bar down the bottom turns blue if you're parallel with the what's it called? The plane. Ah, I missed him. But I feel like it's going a little bit faster. Now again, I'm running them emulated, but I've ran them both before on the actual original hardware, and I feel like the Atari version is a tiny bit nippier. When he turns there, he doesn't look like a biplane for a couple of seconds. Now, I actually had the cartridge version of this, believe it or not, back in the days, and it got a hell of a lot of use. Which is funny because I'm rubbish at it now. Can we bomb it? Can we drop the bombs? Ah, bugger, missed. Evil factory supplies another day. Like mustard gas and mustard and God knows what in there. Okay, can we land? Now the thing is, you can doom yourself by if you land. Well, landing like that'll doom me. If you land too late, you don't give yourself enough room to take off. Anyway, let's go look at this Becky. So you join us in midair. This is the Spectrum version. First of all, graphics, lovely, big, well defined. Now obviously you got that kind of see-through, kind of colour clashy thing that the Spectrum does. It's a good bit slower in fairness. It is a little bit clunky compared to the other two versions. The Commodore looked lovely. The Atari, the graphics are a little bit smaller because it seemed to be taking a wider view, but everything was really, really fast. The Spectrum has some lovely looking graphics, but they're a bit slower again. So the F and the B there are some previous fuel tank and bomb damage I've taken, and I've got refueling, rebombing, or rearming, and now they're being fixed, so let's just take off. It'd be perfect if you could get a machine that combined the Atari's ability to throw graphics around, and the Commodore's amazing sound and decent colours for the most part, and the Specky's ability to do some lovely clear big sprites, and just combine them all together in a whole Uber machine. Well, I suppose it'd be an Amiga really, wouldn't it? Let's do a little strafing run. Can I get him? Can I get now? So, sorry, I'm totally excited playing this. I just haven't had much sleep. So yeah, it's a really good game. I have to admit, it's one of my go-to games when I haven't gone to it in a while, which is why I'm not particularly brilliant at it at the moment. But it's good. It's varied. I mean, considering the age, this is 84. It came out a year after the other two conversions. It's a varied game. It's not the same levels over and over. And there's enough strategy there, and you know, It's not just mindless shooting to keep you going for a while, so it is definitely one that I recommend having a go at. Anyway, we're going to go off, consult the judges, well, me basically, tot up our scores and see which is the winner of this little 8-bit battle. So I'm going to refuel and, no, I'm not, I'm going to take off again. Ah, it's kamikaze. Anyway, I'm going to go and we'll have a look at which is the greatest version of them all. So yeah, it might be nostalgia because it was the original version I had, but I went with the Atari 8-bit. Now, as I said, that's my personal choice. You may prefer the Spectre, you may prefer the Commodore, or you might like all three of them. But I just had the most fun playing the Atari. It's probably the most responsive of the three. The Commodore, it's been slightly behind, but not by much. And then the Spectrum, trying really hard, but just not being able to throw those graphics around. Yeah, it's not much else to say really. That's been Blue Max. That's been Let's Get Retro. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.